Hi, I am going to do two videos. They're kind of, one of them is definitely a tutorial, the other one is kind of a tutorial, and I'm going to do the quick one first. I recently did a tutorial on altered playing cards and that seemed to go quite well, so I have been playing around with that idea. Oh, got big hair stuck to my tape. And I've kind of tried to develop that a little bit, and I have come up with altered postcards. I've done a few sets. This was the first set I did, and it looks quite dark, but I really love the concept of these, about buildings and civilization overtaking nature and then kind of nature overtaking it back. And I hope you can see this. Get that in frame. They are vintage postcards, and I've used decoupaging and stamping and aging and stitching around them. So this is the first set. And what I did is, because I really like the idea of leaving the text on the back, but obviously you'd want to use these as journaling cards. So what I've done is I have stitched tracing paper to the back so they can be used as a journaling card. Now the tracing paper, I've checked it out, and you can use fountain pen on top of the tracing paper, but you do need to leave it to dry, in the same way that if you're printing onto tracing paper through an inkjet printer, you'd need to leave that to dry. It doesn't take very long, maybe 5 minutes, and you can write over the top of the text, and because the tracing paper is, yes, it's slightly opaque, you can actually see your text. So this is the first set that I did, and then what I thought is they would make really nice digital tags. And I know that the light would enhance the postcard image in the background and the stamping. So I've only printed 2 out. This is what they would print like. They're actually a lot more vibrant than the originals, and they did turn out really well. So I did several sets of these, and what I'm thinking of doing is putting the digital sets into my Etsy store, but the originals I am going to be making books and folders and envelopes and various things to pop these into, and I'll do another video on those once they're done. Nobody might like these, they might be a waste of time, but I really did like them, especially some of the other sets. So the digital sets will be going into my Etsy store, I think, probably. So that was the first set. The second set were, again, vintage postcards, even older than the first. These were all black and white, and I hope you can see, I hope the camera shows it up. Again, I've done printing and decoupage and stitching onto them, but these black and white ones didn't actually have any writing on the back. However, I've still backed those onto tracing paper because I really liked it. So you can still write onto the back of those. Ballpoint pen, fountain pen, they work absolutely fine. And again, the digital images, once printed, will look something like this. You can really see the build. All of these have mountains in the background. So on this one there's a tree and the mountains, and these ones are all little girls, and I've done pink stamping onto those. So that's the second set. The third set are, they're kind of rose prints, and these are, oh, that's upside down. So there's sky and sea in all of these, and there's some buildings in that one. They do look really beautiful actually, but I'm sure the camera is not doing them justice. I just wanted a way of getting using up some of those vintage postcards that you don't really use for anything. And the digital prints look like that. So that's that set. And there's two more. These and these are again holiday destinations, buildings, beaches, seaside, with again stamping and decoupage and stitching. That one's got a bit of a mountain in the background. And this is what the digital prints look like. I think they're really interesting, and coming from my degree is in art photography, and you know, I really like the concept of this. Possibly going to frame some of these myself for my home as art rather than just using them in my journals, because I was really pleased with how they turned out. But like I said, that it might not be for everybody. They are fairly busy, but you can kind of use your eyes to focus either on the background or the foreground, which is quite nice. And again, these are all, there's water in all of them, but there's also quite a lot of interest in the background with mountains, and this one has a waterfall. I mean, the other possibility is that you can actually use these as postcards again. It might be slightly difficult, you might have to block out the previous address, but that's the final set. And again, these just print beautifully, because obviously the scanner has the light, so it reflects and it kind of enhances the colours, and they're slightly obviously, because of everything that's gone over the top, they're slightly I wouldn't say out of focus, because you can clearly see what they are. But there you go. Altered postcards is maybe a nice way, similar to the altered playing cards, but for you to use up some of those vintage postcards that may be not as pretty as the beautiful ladies and the flowers and things. So some of your scenery, I mean, they'd look quite nice in nature journals, I think, or travel journals. So that is the first video, and I will be back with a tutorial to show you how I've been making some linen tags. So thank you for watching. Bye.